What up, boys? So, don't yell at me. I did most of the fun stuff already. But I forgot I got a new stand for my phone so I can record myself doing computer stuff. Go me, right? Look at me being a YouTuber and whatnot. So right now we just need to plug in the SATA cable, which really don't see a good option for the way this plugs in to here. Please tell me this is still gonna work all right. I hope, maybe, possibly. Yes? Work with me here. Oh, thank fuck that worked. And then I can use that to plug into the fan hub. Leave a like down below if your cable management is the same as mine. As long as nobody can see it, it does not matter. You know? Because who gives a fuck if you can't see it? There's my screwdriver. You're going to see me grab about 3 different screwdrivers today. Well, not today. Actually, never mind. Never. Not even at this point. I have this one, my iFixit. Love that screwdriver. I have this one for when I need a little bit more torque. And then I have this one for reaching into long areas. So, 24 pin is next. Well, I don't know how I want to run out the 24 pin yet, so we're going to leave that where it is. This is one that I plugged in as CPU, right? Is it supposed to go right over top? Yes, sir. So we're gonna route that something up like this. And then we're just gonna push it up through the top corner there for now. I like to get all my cables pulled through as much as possible before I start, before I turn it around. Bless me. Oh. Before I turn it around and start actually plugging things in. Now, I actually had to do an upgrade for this guy. I built this PC for him, but the CPU I ordered, I'm not gonna name names. The CPU I ordered was dead on arrival. And I know it was the CPU because I tested the CPU on 2 different motherboards. I tested the RAM in my own system, which I knew was working. I tested the, what is it there? That thing, the GPU. Yeah. Trying to do things while I talk. Should probably focus on what I'm doing now. Probably. Oh, I'm so sorry for that sound. But I tested the GPU in my system. I was basically able to test everything besides the CPU for this system. And it did not work. So I had to double down and pull apart my Minecraft server, swap out some of, oh, I'm so sorry, swap out some of his parts, or some of my parts for some of his parts, so that way he had generally his PC. Well, I got replacements. Terribly sorry for the sounds here, boys. And probably keep it in camera view, huh? Yep. So now we're going to plug in the 24 pin connector. But basically what I did was I pulled my GPU out of here. As you can see, this is my Minecraft server. You might recognize it. I pulled my GPU out of here, my Gen 3 storage that I had, and my RAM that I had in here. Pulled that out. Also the white Corsair fans. These actually got replaced today too. The white Corsair fans. One NZXT fan. These were in here because they were spares I had laying around as server stuff. But he got nice Noctua fans. Nice black Noctua fans. And so, alright, I unplugged that. I unclicked that stick of RAM just so I could make sure I get the 24 pin okay. Without hitting it or anything. So we'll plug that back in. So, pulled out the RAM, pulled out the M.2, and did a couple other things to get him running on a PC while I ordered the other brand of CPU because I was done with the original brand. I ordered them. First ever time trying to build a PC with them, and I get a CPU that's just dead on arrival. Yeah, no, I don't think we'll be using them anymore. Oh, so, with that being said, now he has this setup, and I finally got his new CPU in. We've been trying to coordinate when he can bring it by for me to update. That's right, I gotta plug in CPU power. But now he's got this to run him. And the machine runs beautifully. Besides, I had to get him a new CPU because the CPU that was in here was my old one, and it was bottlenecking his 3070 Ti. I feel so bad for this kid because ever since like the beginning of us, ever since the first time I started building his PC. Oh, sorry. Ever since I started building his PC, it seems like it has been trouble after trouble after trouble. I've called him multiple times about issues. You're gonna hear a smack. Had to get my flashlight working. Come on, ass nugget. There you go, thank you. And bro, if anybody wants to send me a new flashlight, I would love you forever. I'm getting real tired of smacking this one to get it to work. So yeah, that's gotta be like that. And plug that in. I'm sorry, it's about to get loud, boys. I have to turn this back on. Holy shit, it is hot. I got a tiny bit of sweat on those heat sinks. So, essentially, yeah, that's where we've been at with this. But now we have his new CPU. We've coordinated, he brought it over. He's got it in, I got it in there now. got his power supply in there. I did swap out, I had an EVGA 650 in here when it was my server. Swapped it out for his RMX 850. Yes, 850. Let's see, what else did I swap? I swapped the fans, the CPU. The CPU cooler is getting changed too because the CPU that I had in here was fine being used with the stock cooler, but the oh, I need to thermal paste this. Duh. So the CPU that I did have was going to be decent. Let's use the XTM50, yeah? Good old shout out to Corsair, making some quality thermal paste. XTM50. They are not a sponsor. I also use Thermaltake TG7. And I also have some Noctua NH1. Or, sorry, Noctua NT-H1. I don't know. My Corsair is my biggest tube, and I also actually got it for free, if I remember right. Buddy was gonna build a PC, never ended up getting around to it, and so we did some trades, and he tossed this in here because he didn't need it. Well, he tossed it in the trade because he didn't need it, because he was no longer building a PC. And actually, that's where this case came from, now that I think about it. I traded him an old keyboard I had. Well, not old, but I traded him a keyboard I had for this because I no longer needed the keyboard. I really need to lay this down so I can apply thermal paste, but I'm really not ready to start cable managing this back yet either. Whatever, it's fine. Alright, let's see if I can get you boys an angle in here for the CPU thermal paste applying. Nope. Terribly sorry if you get motion sickness, that's gonna have to be good enough. Alright, now, if I can get this cap off of here. There we go. General rule for thermal paste. You always want a nice fat grain of rice, pea, whatever. About that's good for thermal paste, but actually I like to go a little overkill because Gamers Nexus actually did a test, and it is proven that you cannot have too much thermal paste. So for everybody that's gonna come down in my comments saying that's too much thermal paste, go tell Gamers Nexus, because it's actually not. Yeah, I want this tool. And now we are going to pre-spread it just a little. I'm not gonna sit here and scrape it all the way out or anything. Just gonna pull it around a little bit so that way it spreads nice and evenly once the pressure of the cooler goes ahead and just pushes it the rest of the way out. So we go ahead and we got that done. Let me wipe this spatula off real quick, because if I don't do it now, then I will probably forget and I will put that dirty tool back in my iFixit kit, and I really don't want to do that. So let's lift this back up. Do not ever handle a PC one-handed. I don't recommend it, but I do things I don't recommend all the time. You should not do that. I'm a professional idiot, as I tell people. And sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. Fuck me. I was looking at the directions of how to install this CPU cooler here, and it's going to be an absolute pain in my balls. So now I have to hold both of these when I apply the screws. Let me see here. I can create kind of like a little shelf, just something to kind of lock in there. That backplate to sit on? No, fuck me. Okay. Okay. That is totally fine. Make sure I'm lined up here. Ladies, this is why you get a PC builder for, man, we're really good with our fingers. Is it? Okay, it's in there enough at least that I can grab a screwdriver now. Kind of tighten it down just a tad bit. There we go. That was kind of one of those do as I say, not as I do moves there, to be honest with you. Because you don't ever want to force anything with PCs. Should come naturally, or it's not lining up correctly. But, you know, once again, I'm a professional idiot, so do as I say, not as I do. Or do as I do at your own risk. I can't really tell you what to do. Get my handy dandy screwdriver back here. Feel like this CPU cooler was definitely designed to be put outside of the case, but it's fine. Well, installed outside of the case, I should say. Misspoke there, my bad. My bad. But after this, we should just have some cable management, reinstalling GPU. Let's see. I think that's about it. After we get this plugged in up here, well, screwed in, not plugged in. Just speaking again there. Used to hanging out and just kind of listening to music while I build PCs. I'm not used to talking to you boys while I do this. And fucking bitch, why'd you slip out of there? At least I managed to hit the back plate and not the motherboard. Because then you take a risk at damaging the motherboard. If you damage the motherboard, you're not gonna have a good time. Especially because I don't have another AM4 motherboard anymore. I sold my first one. The second one is this one that is in this PC. And then I have my current one that is in my PC. Which, as we know, I cannot be giving up my PC. So, yeah. That motherboard in my PC too is actually worth a lot more than this motherboard, and this motherboard is worth more than the two motherboards that I had tested the dead CPU on for the client. So that's fun. I think we're ready to get GPU installed, boys. What the fuck? Come on. Stay down in there, you dirty biznitch. Come on. You know you want to. Why won't you? Why you being a dirty bitch? Stay. Thank you. Alright, so... Oh yeah, obviously we have to plug in our CPU fan, which you always want to find your CPU fan label and plug it in there. Where'd my light go? Right there. Brother, thank you. See, really need a new light, boys. So, if anybody has a light like this, I think you've seen it. If you didn't, give me a second to stop using it and I'll show you again. Yeah, it's plugged in. If anybody has a light similar to this, doesn't need to be super, anything like super powerful or nothing, just so I can see what the hell I'm doing in PCs sometimes. Because it's a pain in the ass if I can't see what the hell I'm doing. That would be very much appreciated. If you wanted to, like, send me a new light, you know? Alright, so... Ooh, Butterfingers. Let's get this hooked up like this. And like this. And now we have his Founders Edition adapter hooked up. We're gonna slide these cords in here a little bit because I know for a fact he doesn't need all that cord out there. And he has a little bit of dust on his 3070 Ti already. Founders Edition RTX 3070 Ti. This actually is my original 3070 Ti, but we switched because his original case wasn't going to fit the 3070 Ti. There was just no way. Because he was doing a micro ATX build. And he had we had gotten him an Asus TUF 3070 Ti. It was just too long of a card. It wasn't fitting in the case. No way, no how. Butterfingers. Hope I caught that on camera. Please tell me I did. Oh, I did. Sick. The camera angle is sick of that. But So we switched cards, and then found out the CPU was dead. And so when I went to go build him this PC, I told him, I was like, you know, this case could like fit the original card we bought you, you know, if you want it back. We could switch back, it's no big deal. He's like, I mean, I'm not really worried about it. He doesn't overclock or anything. He just wants something that he can turn on and play some games on, which I totally get. And so he was completely fine with the 3070 Ti Founders Edition. He doesn't need super cooler that the Asus TUF has or the MSI cards have for extreme overclocking stuff. Well, I shouldn't say extreme overclocking, because if you're extreme overclocking, then you should definitely be water cooling, if not liquid nitrogen cooling, for extreme overclocking. But that's his PC, boys. Like I said, I really only have some cable management now to do in the back, and make sure it posts. But thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry that y'all didn't get to see the whole shebang. We'll see y'all later. Next time, hopefully, I'll remember to start the video before I start building PCs.